set yourself on your lift and just have a little wriggle about, make sure that you feel like you're sitting evenly, and then come into a good cross-legged position. So feel that you have some levelness at the seat bones. Just spend a moment just to observe the balance of the feet, the balance of the seat, and if I could think of anything that rhymes with that, then I would, but I can't. That is relevant anyway. So just sit and raise the chest, open the chest, elevate the heart area upwards, and draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Allow your eyes to settle on the floor. Just look at something that doesn't move. Focus on filling your lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste, pressing the palms firmly together, really stretching the fingertips, really stretching the fingers away from the palms of the hands. Lengthen the armpits into the elbows, squeeze the elbows into the heels of the hands, and then from the heels of the hands, stretch the fingers and splay the palms. Take a deep inhalation, and with an exhalation allow your eyes to gently close. Allow energy into the body with non-resistant inhalations. So with each inhalation, allow the chest to rise upwards and outwards, allowing the side ribs to expand, allowing the intercostal muscles to expand. As long as there are no reasons why you shouldn't hold your breath, heart conditions or lung conditions that prevent you from holding your breath, or blood pressure issues, then at the top of the in-breath, if those things don't apply, then take a deep inhalation and then retain that breath for a moment or two, just allowing the energy of that breath to just seep through the lining of the lungs into the blood. Just very briefly, no more than a second or two. Just allowing the body to glean energy from the breath, allowing the breath to penetrate through the lining of the lungs and into the blood. With an out breath, draw your chin forwards and down to meet the chest, stretching the back of the neck, drawing the shoulders away from your ears. Spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, bringing the tip of the index finger with the tip of the thumbs. It's a gesture of wisdom, of intelligence, physical intelligence, and of peacefulness that we can carry into our practice. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to open, holding on to that feeling of abundance. Hold on to your knees, lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across. Your abdomen and your ribs and your shoulders, elevating the heart area upwards, drawing around towards the right side, using each exhalation to intensify the turn. Just draw your attention into the body's response to the pose. Any sensation of resistance, but also sensations of freedom within the pose. Observations of where the seat bones are and how you are sitting on the seat bones. Are you on the front edge of the seat bones or the back edge of the seat bones? Push the back hand into the floor so that you roll onto the front edge of the seat bones, lifting the chest as you go, turning a little more deeply as you go. Gently come back to the center, hold onto your knees. Take a deep, satisfying inhalation and then turn to the left. Again, observing your body's response to the turn, drawing your abdomen across, your ribs across, your shoulders across. Listen to the breath. Digging the back hand firmly into the floor, rolling onto the front edge of the seat bones, turning the abdomen and the ribs and the shoulders. And then gently come back to the center. Come off your lift and then sit back on your heels. Just sit back on your heels and just feel where you are in 3 dimensions. Feel how the feet connect to the ground, how the shins connect to the ground, and maybe feel how gravity draws you down into the floor. So just observe that sense that gravity is strong and it draws you down to the floor. And then consciously push the shin bone into the shin skin, so that the whole of the shin begins to find its way onto the mat. That action of pushing the shin bone into the shin skin hopefully makes your thighs respond and helps you to elevate your heart area up to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. And now perhaps gravity doesn't feel quite so powerful. Lift up into the chest, elevate the heart area upwards, and then come forwards, hinging at the hips, keeping the seat bones down on the heels if you possibly can, and then stretch your arms forwards. Take deep inhalations, deep exhalations, and then bring the forehead down. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Drawing the tailbone and the sacrum spine down towards the heels, lengthening into the arms. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself up, sit back on your heels, and just observe the difference in your energy, perhaps the lightness of the energy around the chest and around the arms. That sensation of lightness that comes from the deep stretch of the pose. Just come up onto all fours, have your hands as wide apart as your mat, have your little finger on the mat, stretch your thumbs towards each other, really spread your fingers, spread your palms, turn your toes under, and then raise your seat bones up to the ceiling. Draw the inner knees towards the back of the room. Tighten the kneecaps. Lift the thighs. Just be in the pose, in observation. Just observe the balance of your energy, the balance of your effort. Spread the toes. Press the neck of the big toe firmly into the floor, and then consciously lengthen into the little toe side of the foot. Try and stamp the little toe side of the foot down into the floor so that the outer thighs suck inwards, creating a tube of toothpaste effect up into the hips. Hit the legs away from the arms so that you stretch and open up in the armpit chest. Try and draw your heels down to the floor, but observe the creases at the fronts of the ankles. So when you bring your heels down, do you get those creases between the shin and the foot? Chances are you probably do, which means that you need to lift the fronts of the legs more. So try and lift the shins away from the tops of the feet. If you need to, lift your heels until those creases disappear. Okay, step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position, and then Get the blocks for your hands and then bring your feet as wide apart as your mat. Be really precise about the way that you place your feet. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see here very easily, but there's a little slither of mat on the outside edge of my heel here. So the toe is kind of overlapping the mat, and there's like a millimetre or two, maybe 3 millimetres of mat that I can see. So that isn't going to give me space, or the appropriate space in the hips. So bring the heel out so that you really precisely line the edge up, line the foot up with the edge of the mat. It's not just being pedantic, it gives you space in your hips. So all of these little, tiny little precision actions are all about giving you space rather than just being pedantic. So tighten the kneecaps. Lift the heart area to the ceiling. Have your hands on your hips, wing the elbows towards each other. Try and creep the thumbs towards each other behind your back. Tighten the kneecaps, lift the chest. And then keeping the head lifted, keeping the back entirely straight. Come forwards, hinging at the hips, and then reach down and find the blocks. So just be on the high end of the blocks to start off with. Even if you can go down lower, it's always good to start off high so that you can really set the challenge in the legs. Tighten the kneecaps, lift the fronts of the thighs, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, feel the backs of the thighs broaden outwards so that you can pick up the seat bones higher. Project the chin and the chest forwards. If you can go down lower, then do. If you've got a bad back, stay at the higher lift. As you come forwards, as you come down lower, make sure you don't let your weight come into your feet. Keep hitting the shins back so that your weight remains in the heels. Spread your toes. Like yesterday, we were really working on pressing the neck of the big toe firmly into the floor and then trying to spread out the little toes. So if you can reach your toes, see if you can get hold of the big toe and pull it out away from the big toe. Stamp the little toe firmly into the floor so that the outer thighs suck inwards, and then project the chin and the chest forwards. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, drawing the inner knees towards the wall behind you. Lifting the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs, lifting the seat bones away from the heels. Projecting the chin and the chest forwards, trying to create concavity in the shoulder blades. Concavity, not sure. Anyway, try and concave the shoulder blades. If you reach around the backs of the heels without aggravating your back, then reach around the heels, keep the back straight. Keep the back straight and draw the chest through the space between the legs. And then release your hands. Bring your hands into your hips and then bend the knees and then come up into a standing position. And then come up into Tadasana. So just feel how your energy feels right now. Maybe it feels like you've lifted your energy of the chest and the arms. Maybe there's energy in the legs. However low that energy might feel, can you observe how your energy has changed? Bring your arms out nice and wide. Play out the fingers, spread the palms, spread the toes. Bring your arms in toward, bring your hands in towards your chest, step or jump your feet nice and wide for trikonasana. Turn your left toes in, your right leg and foot all the way out. So like we were doing yesterday, stamp the neck of the big toe firmly into the floor, lengthen across the mounds of the feet to the little toe side. Do the same with the other leg. So we turn these legs outwards, bring the chest to face the front. Come down into trikonasana. Working mindfully into the pose. Once you were there, working mindfully in the pose. Just observe your balance of action. Does your front leg, the right leg, does it become heavy and the back leg become light? So mirror the effort of that right leg with the left leg. Make that left leg really activate so that it feels like you're on two legs rather than just one. Activate that back leg really firmly. Back to the center. Swap the feet around, turn the right toes in. The left leg and foot all the way out. Just feel the toes. Stamping the little toe side of the foot into the floor. Turning the legs so that the inner knees rotate around towards the outer knees. Find that back leg. Keep it active. Back to the center, bring the feet parallel and then step, jump the feet back together. Coming back into Tadasana, lift up into the chest. Just feel your energy, observe the energy of the physical body. Observe how it changes with each pose. Okay, grab yourself a belt and just take it out of a loop if it's in a loop. So you might not need the belt. We're going to do padangusthasana. So padangusthasana is where you reach forward, so you have your feet hip width apart, the toes turning in from forwards, lifting the chest, and then get hold of the big toes with the index finger and the middle finger like we were doing yesterday, and then wrap the thumb around the index finger, and then project the chin and the chest away. If you know that you can't reach your toes, then you can just bend your knees, put the belt around the inner edge of the toes, and then come up. And then when the belt is in place, then you can come forwards like this. So the priority here is to come forwards with a straight back. So you keep your back straight as you come down, sorry. So classically, you come up with the arms in ardha, but I often find that a little bit strong for my back, so I think it's just as useful and just as effective to come forwards with a hinge at the hips, coming forwards, lengthening out, and then reaching down. So, because one of the things that always happens, I find, when you come forwards with straight arms, with the arms outstretched, is this. and people always try and reach the floor first, and then you end up doing the pose with your back, and that's not good. That will injure your back. So have your feet hip width apart. Turn your toes consciously inwards. Your hands on your hips, and then lift up into the chest. Raise your arms. Just come into ardha momentarily. Raising the arms upwards. If you can bring them parallel, then do have the palms facing each other. Just consciously engage your attention with your feet. Feel how they are connected to the ground. Feel that they are placed evenly. So if you want to come forwards with the arms outstretched, then do. I'm going to bring my hands down onto my hips, lifting the chest, winging the elbows back, keeping the head lifted, hinge at the hips. So using the belt to come forwards if you know that you can't reach your toes. Coming forwards. When the chest is halfway, just come forward, lift the chest a little bit more, and then reach down, get hold of the big toes. Index finger and the middle finger underneath the big toe, and then wrap the thumb around the outside of the big toe. And then reset your balance, reset the feet, hit the shins back so that your weight goes into your heels. And then stamp the big toes down like you want to press the fingers into the floor. And then try and rip the big toes out of the floor like you're trying to rip a nail out of the floor. And then project the chin and the chest forwards, concaving in the shoulder blade region. So activate the legs, lift the feet into the shins, into the kneecaps, lift the kneecaps towards the thighs up into the hip socket, projecting the chin and the chest away. If you can, with a straight back, bend your elbows out to the side, drawing the body in towards the chest. This can be strong for your back, so just stay at a stage that feels comfortable for your back if you are uncertain. Keep the legs straight, keep the kneecaps tightened, keep breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then come forwards, release the hands, just come into half uttanasana. And then walk the hands towards the end of the mat, have your hands shoulder width apart, step the feet hip width apart. If you're not doing dog down, go into padangusthasana. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. So keeping the heels high, looking at those feet and the shins, clearing those creases out of the way, and then spread the toe mounds, press the neck of the big toe into the floor, stretch the little toes out to the side. It's always challenging to activate those little toes, isn't it? Try and press the little toes into the floor. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, pick up the seat bones, lift the kneecaps up to the thighs, lift the thighs up into the hips, and then bring the heels down as much as you can, but without losing those creases, without adding those creases to the fronts of the shins. As soon as you get those creases, just reactivate the legs. Stretch the heels away from the toes. Okay, and then step your feet forwards and then come up into standing position. Come back into Tadasana for a moment. Just feel the energy in the chest. So padangusthasana. So we're going to do padahastasana. So not everyone will be able to do this, so I'm going to give you just an alternative. Let me show you first. So you basically come into the pose in the same way as you came into the previous one, hinging at the hips, keeping the back straight. You never drop your head to come forward. You come forwards, and then you bring the back of the hand onto the floor and bring the sole of the foot in contact with the palm of the hand. And then we work to extend the chin and the chest away. Now, not everyone can do that. Everyone can get get their feet all the way down, their hands all the way down to the floor. So if that's the case for you, get yourself a folded blanket and just fold it so that it's wide and quite thick, and then you can just put the front of your feet onto the belt, and then you can just do padangusthasana in the way that you did it before. So you just come forwards and you just use the belt or reach the floor however you could last time. So the heels are on the floor and the fronts of the feet, the tops of the feet, sorry, the toes are on the toes, and the ball joint of the foot is on the mat, on the blanket. So again, just be mindful of your back. Don't come forwards too far if you've got a bad back. Have your feet hip width apart, turn the toes in, lift up into the chest. And again, just raise your arms up momentarily, perhaps. Just stretching the body up towards the ceiling. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then bring your hands into your hips, or keep your arms outstretched, but keep the arms straight, keep the back straight, keep the head lifted, hinge entirely at the hips. Like you got a pole strapped to your back that prevents you from bending it. Keep coming forwards beyond halfway if you can. And then just pick up the toes, keeping the heel down, slide the hand underneath the foot so the back of the hand is on the floor. So padahastasana. Pad is the foot, hasta is the hand. Padahastasana, hand, foot and hand pose. And then reactivate the legs if you've let them go. Tighten the kneecaps, lift the thigh muscles, lift the seat bones, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, lift the seat bones, project the chin and the chest forwards. Keep the back straight, keep the head lifted. And again, if you can bend your elbows out to the sides, drawing the body through the space between the legs. So just working with your own back, working with your own body, just working into the pose in any way that feels okay for you this morning. Okay, and then gently just release your hands, just come back into half uttanasana. And then again, you can either go into padmasana if you prefer, or walk your hands towards the end of your mat, hands shoulder width apart, and then bring your feet hip width apart. Come back into dog down. Spread the toe mounds. Activate the arms and the legs. And again, just bring the heels down to the floor. Being, again, just mindful of stretching the heel away from the toes. Feeling that stretch at the backs of the calves. But again, working with consciousness of those creases. Some big creases have appeared at the fronts of my legs. So I'm going to lift the heels until they disappear. And then reactivate the seat bones. Lift the seat bones higher. Lift the fronts of the shins, lift the kneecaps, lift the thighs, and then just incrementally bring the heels down. But as soon as those creases reappear, come back up again. Okay, come down onto your knees and sit back on your heels. Just sit back on your heels. And observe your energy, observe how your energy has changed. So if you were a little tired before we started, and quite a lot of you said that you were tired this morning, hopefully now you feel full of energy, brimming with energy. And then come forwards into Adho Mukha virasana, stretching consciously into your pose. Keeping the pose really active, not just allowing the body to flop down into the floor. Okay, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Push yourself up into seated position. Again, just observing your energy. Feeling the lightness of your energy in the chest and the arms. Okay, and then just sit yourself in cross legs. Hold onto your knees. Hold onto your knees and then pull against the knees so that you can effectively roll onto the front edge of the seat bones, trying to draw the pelvic bone towards the tops of the thighs. Just feel that you are evenly balanced on the seat bones. Adjust the position of the seat bones if they're not. If you're not, lift the heart area up to the ceiling, elevating the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. So if there is a problem with your back, just stay at this stage, just elevating your heart area up to the ceiling. Just stay seated and take in deep inhalations and deep exhalations. If there's no problem with your back, or if you feel that your back will cope, then I want you to really consciously lift the abdomen up to the diaphragm. And then hinge at the hips, come forwards, driving forwards with the chin. Coming forwards. You might need a block handy, or create a couple of fists for your hands and then rest your forehead down. Or if that's too low, get a block and then, or get several blocks, or whatever it is that you need. You can have a bolster and have that for your head. Just rest in your head on the bolster. So just come forward and then finding the floor with your forehead, however you need to adapt that. Try and keep the seat bones down. If you bring your head down onto the almost directly onto the floor, then maybe you find that your seat bones lift off the floor. So try and keep them down. Push your elbows into the floor. Lean back into the seat bones. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Just feel the energy that you create in the solar plexus. Swap the fists, so one fist on top of the other if you're coming forwards. So we're grounding our thoughts to the earth. And creating lots of energy around the solar plexus, around the diaphragm region. Okay, lift your head, push your hands into the floor, and then bring yourself back up into just cross legs, lift the heart area, draw the shoulders down. Just observe the quietness of the brain as you come out of a forward bend. Just listen into the breath. Pull against the knees, lift up into the heart area, take a deep inhalation. And then turn to the right side, digging the back hand into the floor to maintain your position on the front edge of the seat bones. Try and make the seat bones feel even. Turn the chest, turn the abdomen, turn the ribs, turn the shoulders. Then come back to the centre, hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, and then turn to the left. And then very gently come back to the centre. Just observe your energy. Okay, we're going to finish in our restorative surfboard pose. So get a bolster. If you haven't got a bolster, you can just use some cushions. Have a blanket, have a block for your head, and just put the blanket over the end of the block, just for a bit more comfort and support. If you've got a mini bolster or just something you can put underneath your shins, then use that. So we're just going to come down onto our front. The priority here is that your head is free of the end of the bolster. So it's typically your kind of pelvis that's supported by the end of the bolster, but it really depends on the length of your body. So the chin needs to be free of the end of the mat. And then place the block underneath the forehead, just rest in the area between the eyebrows, and then rest your arms, just stretch your arms away a little, bend the elbows, and then let the arms just completely relax. Just make sure that you feel comfortable, adjust if you need to, and then just release down into the floor. Release into the floor. Let the body rest. Let the body rest. Allow yourself to sink into the ground. You can incorporate a back breathing method here. Breathing into the back chest between the shoulder blades and out into the armpits. So deep inhalation, breathing into the upper back, and then a normal exhalation. And then the second inhalation is into the middle of the back. Breathing into the middle of the back and expanding into the lower ribs. And then a normal exhalation. And then the third breath is down into the lowest part of the back. Breathing into the sacrum and out into the hips. So work around those three areas: upper back, middle back, lower back, with normal inhalations in between. Resting into the floor, focusing on that back breathing if you can. Just letting the body release into the ground. Okay, when you're ready, just bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Push yourself up. Sit back on your heels for a moment. Just observe the energy that you have released through your practice this morning. And then sit yourself directly onto your bolster in cross legs. Just come into cross legs. Just make sure you feel evenly positioned. Bring the hands into Namaste. Draw your breath in through the nose, down into the abdomen. Conscious of the energy you've released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy. Gently draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Just acknowledge that positive energy you've created around the heart area, and then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger with the tip of the thumb. Just a gesture of wisdom, physical intelligence, and of peacefulness that we can carry into our day. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open. Focus to softly come back, just hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, and then just one more time turn to the right. Come back to the centre, and then turn to the left. And then gently come back to centre. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though you have really lifted your energy and given yourself some really good energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.